here's how great Kansas City is. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, their running back, just got hurt. It's unfortunate. He's out for the rest of the regular season. They're hoping he can come back for the playoffs. And on one hand, I'm like, oh man, that's like a great player. It's our first round pick. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is phenomenal. However, they have Le'Veon Bell. Their backup running back is a former All-Pro, a guy they signed from the Jets who got released because of who knows why. Like, their backup running back is none other than Le'Veon Bell. It's like, of course it is. They just reload, and they're just so talented, literally everywhere. And so I fully expect Kansas City to win a Super Bowl. If that changes, I will let you know. But right now, I am all aboard the Kansas City Chiefs train. It's kind of hard to believe anything other than them winning a Super Bowl right now. By the way, they have a great defense too. Nobody talks about the Chiefs' defense, how good they are, how many plays they make. I know they're easily forgotten because the offense is so dominating, because Mahomes and Andy Reid. And don't forget about Tyrann Mathieu and that defense. They make a lot of plays. Bashaud Breeland. I mean, there are guys on that defense that make a lot of really good plays. They did it again against Drew Brees, and I think it's easy to ignore Kansas City's defense, how good they are. They're very well coached by Steve Spagnuolo, their defensive coordinator. They got some good playmakers. They make plays. I mean, I just think that Kansas City is easily the best team in the NFL. And if they ever get in a pickle, it doesn't matter because their quarterback is literally so good it feels like he can overcome anything. And I don't know who can beat Kansas City. The Bills are good. I like Buffalo. I think really they're a year away. They need a little more help in the run defense. But hey, maybe Kansas City gets COVID or something happens. Like, the Bills could beat Kansas City if KC had an off day. And the Steelers are good, but they're far from perfect. They got too many problems. They got very inconsistent play. Pittsburgh has flaws. Green Bay has limitations at receiver, and their defense cannot stop Kansas City. The Rams have a great defense. They could stop KC, but I don't trust their quarterback, Jared Goff. I mean, the Rams just lost to the Jets, so I don't know how you trust the Rams to beat Kansas City. New Orleans and Seattle, they can't beat KC. And so I'm just not sure who can beat the Chiefs. I will see what happens, but if something changes, I will let you know. But until further notice, my belief is that the Kansas City Chiefs are going to win the Super Bowl again this year. And I expect that. I mean, they should be the favorite. I'm sure they are the favorite. And I believe Kansas City is going to win the Super Bowl this year. I don't cover Patrick Mahomes very often. I don't talk about him a lot. I watch him play a lot, but he's overplayed. You ever have a song that everybody's playing it, or there's a meme, or like everybody's talking about this thing? And I see Patrick Mahomes everywhere, in commercials, in the media, on TV, on Instagram. Like, he's literally everywhere all the time. And so for that reason, I think I have this adverse reaction to covering him. Like, I don't want to do that. That's what everybody else does. But the reason why Patrick Mahomes is everywhere is because he's amazing. I mean, the hype is well-deserved. He is unbelievable to watch. And I was reminded of that watching Mahomes play on Sunday. He is so explosive as a quarterback. He so regularly and really easily throws for big chunks of yardage. Just like it's nothing, just over and over and over again, and overcomes scenarios and situations that are, for example, right? On a 1st and 10, Patrick Mahomes got sacked for an 8-yard loss. And for most teams, a sack like that would be crippling, right? Most quarterbacks go, man, it's 2nd and 18, maybe a screen pass can get us yardage. Like, you're screwed. Like, your drive is ruined. But not for Patrick Mahomes, right? On 2nd and 18, he threw for 10 yards to Sammy Watkins. Then on 3rd and 8, he threw for 23 yards to Sammy Watkins again. And there's two amazing things that Patrick Mahomes does. Where number one is that the way he moves behind the line of scrimmage, and the reason why he's able to do that, I think what really stands out to me about Patrick Mahomes is his comfort level on a football field. I mean, literally just, he's more comfortable than I've ever seen anybody else, with bodies around him, running around in a chaotic environment, almost running around like a chicken with his head cut off, except he's calm. The chickens are everybody else just running around like crazy. He's got bodies flying. He's making people miss. In chaos, Patrick Mahomes is phenomenal. He's very comfortable. And he just kind of runs around and plays backyard football. And it blows my mind how on a broken play, he can avoid a sack, extend a play, and then without setting his feet, without doing anything, he's effortlessly will throw a ball into a tight window for like a 40-yard gain. And he does it all the time, like over and over and over again. Or he had another play on Sunday where Kansas City ran a speed option, and normally you run the speed option, you reach the guy who makes you either pitch the ball or not, and it's a relatively quick play. Like you meet one defender, you pitch the ball. Patrick Mahomes ran like 10, 15 yards downfield, then he pitched the ball to Le'Veon Bell. And it's very rare to watch a speed option go that long downfield, and then the quarterback will pitch the ball. And Mahomes does stuff that is, you would call it reckless for other people, but he does it so effortlessly and so easily and so successfully that nobody cares. And nobody, nobody calls him out because nobody ever would, because he does it very well and it works most of the time. And I mean, he does crazy stuff with a ridiculous amount of comfort and does stuff that most quarterbacks could not even imagine doing. So the number two thing, I said he's really comfortable doing crazy stuff. It's also amazing how the ability Patrick Mahomes has to make literally any throw from any angle. His feet don't need to be set. He doesn't need to point his shoulder or, I mean, you see guys in high school do like mechanic stuff where they're working on, point your shoulder, close the shoulder. He fundamentally, Mahomes does nothing you're taught to do. He doesn't need to. It's crazy. He doesn't need to be facing his target. He doesn't need to have his feet set. And again, he makes throws that some quarterbacks could not even imagine making if their feet were set, if they had the right proper mechanics. He'll, on the run, make a 40-yard throw into a tiny window that I could never have dreamed of making in my entire career. And that a lot of quarterbacks would look at and go, I mean, again, there's a reason why this guy is hyped up the way he is. And I was reminded of that on Sunday. Patrick Mahomes plays real football as if it's a video game. I mean, he treats real football like it's Madden. The way he runs around, the throws he makes, the stuff he does. And then, of course, by the way, yeah, Andy Reid is the coach of Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes got the perfect coach for him, where Andy Reid's creativity and the way he uses motions and the unique play design. It's this amazing pairing of coach and quarterback that it's unbelievable to me. It's like, we're actually lucky to get to watch it. I mean, I hope people recognize and realize. And the NFL will evolve and change. We'll see more and more people with a play style like Patrick Mahomes because the game is changing and evolving, and it's just going to get more fluid and more off balance and more people doing chaotic stuff, but doing it successfully. But, man, I just would imagine that Andy Reid is having a time of his life coaching Patrick Mahomes and getting to work with this unbelievable player at quarterback who's the best I've ever seen, and not even close. Like, it's Mahomes is so much better than everybody else. And I'm saying stuff everybody talks about, but I never talk about it, so I'm sharing my heart here. I avoid talking about the guy because I know he's everywhere, and I don't want to be the cliche guy ranting about how great Mahomes is. But here I am, and it's like, oh my gosh, why have I never said this before? It's crazy to me.